Y'all was out
Uh,
though, man. Like what? Y'all was in Dubai
we was
catching
Dubai,
waves. You
Dubai,
know what I mean? Had the your little do rag
little
flying down to
do-rag.
the ground.
Hey,
How'd that
that
go?
that was cool. I'm gonna let because this was Andy's trip. I was just blessed to be tagged along, so I'm gonna let Andy bless us with
Nah, you lying,
his
man.
recap.
So no, so let me tell this really quick. So obviously I went with Jesse, right? It was two occasions, and I have nothing wrong with people that prefer to live life like this. They were like, "Hey, y'all gay?"
You got flued out.
No, they were like, they
You
thought
gotta
me and
ask
Jesse
that.
were
You gotta
gay.
ask that.
You heard that?
Did you hear that, Blevins?
I heard what you
Oh,
said.
he's not trying to comment, but
Nah, hey,
We were so happy. We were just looking like we was
yeah,
a couple.
yeah. Nah, but honestly,
yo,
so
y'all was taking pictures. He was holding your leg up,
definitely
dipping
not,
you. You know what I'm saying?
definitely not.
Tongue, show, giving a little tongue.
So when we were younger,
Yes or no?
no, definitely not.
Okay,
So when we were younger, probably like our
no
mid
tongue.
20s, when Dubai started popping up, like the scene or like, the place to be, him and I both said, yo, we got to hit Dubai before we turn 35. And so my birthday's next month. I'm going to be 35. Jesse's in October. He's
Woo,
going to be 35. So
woo.
what better time to make it happen than now during COVID when it was
What a
like
time to be alive.
better pricing and whatnot. But the experience was amazing. The city is amazing. The people amazing. The culture, the atmosphere. Um, it was great just to be on like that other side of the world to experience like a different life. I guess like obviously like a vacation, and it was cool, man. We did the desert, the 4x4ing. It was hot.
What
We
was the
did.
temp?
I don't even know,
I
It
but
heard
was
it
it
was
like
was
hot.
like it's like
it was like
Oh,
90.
yeah, it was in the high
hell
90s.
hot,
It
It
was
was
in the
like
like
high
hell
90s.
temperatures,
but
purgatory.
It
but the
gets to like
humidity was
115,
crazy.
120, but it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
like that then. It was like in the high 90s. So we went to the Burj Khalifa, way to the top. Jesse died.
Where's Khalifa?
The Burj Khalifa.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's
All
scared of heights. So we went up to like the 100 and I don't know 30th floor, but there's like
right.
160. It's like a 165 or something like that. But we didn't go all the way up to the top, but it was still high enough. We saw everything. So
Can I
um,
stop you real quick? I don't
mm,
like. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm afraid of heights, but I don't like heights because whenever I go high up somewhere, I feel like if I go to the edge of whatever it is, I'll just jump off. Like that's what always goes through my mind is like, oh, I'm about to jump off, and then I'll be dead. So I never. I always
don't
try to
want to
like
go
get
there.
to the back of whatever it is instead of going to the edge of it because I feel like I'll jump off.
There's a certain level of anxiety, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Well, because
Yeah.
Andy, we were up there, and Andy was he came to me, was like, "Hey, did you look up?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, I looked up, and I got dizzy." Why you look it up?
Man,
It's ridiculous, like the way they built that building.
It was '06, right?
Yeah, it took them like 10. I don't know
the
how
Wiz
long.
Khalifa
Yeah,
building.
but it is tall. Like
It's huge.
it's ridiculously tall. I can't even explain it, but it is up there. Like you feel like you could see until the end of the world. It's that
Mm.
high. And then all the other buildings, even though they're tall, like they look like baby buildings compared to that building.
Mm.
Um, what else? What else we do? We did the yacht. We got on the yacht.
Ooh, y'all
Um,
got. I'm on a boat.
and then shout out to the homeboy that was there.
OG hoes.
He was visiting from Detroit, and then they didn't have alcohol on the yacht, but then he snuck in some, was it Hennessy or Jack Daniels?
He had little whiskey bottles from
Oh,
the
little
airport.
whiskey bottles. He was a
Cocaine.
flight attendant, so he took them from the plane, and then he
Cocaine.
had a whole,
Oh,
he
hey,
was
don't say no names on here. We ain't trying to get nobody
no,
in trouble.
No,
no. I
Man,
was saying he was
listen.
really from the hood because he had the Jansport, and then he pulled it all out. He had it all filled up with like little Hennessy or
He took
whiskey
care of
bottles.
y'all.
he took care of us, man. I
He
feel
All
was,
like
he was
he,
dope.
he big bro.
right.
I was like, all right, big bro. I
He
called him
had
big.
the music going. Like he got the ox, and he had a vibe. He had it going on there.
Was he out there with his male lover as well?
His
He was
buddy.
He was out there with the homie.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so y'all was out there on couples retreat.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Y'all coupled up. He was coupled up. It's
No.
it's cool. It's nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
There's actually not absolutely nothing wrong. We laughed about it. We joked about it. I
Kissed
think the
about it.
the funny thing is that Andy blended in. Everybody thought he was
They were all like, "Hey, Habibi, cha-chi-chi." Like, I was like, "Nah, I don't, it's not me."
Wow.
uh,
What I was gonna share this, Jesse. What was unique about what the time that we went, and we didn't know until we were there that is actually Ramadan,
Oh, word.
and like for
So
us,
you
like we
guys
were
wait to eat?
it. So it was because they knew that we were tourists. They didn't hold that against us, but some people would check us and say, "Hey, you can't you eat this right now. Don't go out there." And so there was certain situations, like let's say we wanted to take a drink of water. I made sure there was nobody around, or we just didn't drink, or like we tried our best to respect their culture, their beliefs, because we're guests in their home, right? And that is the major that's the religion in that city or in that country. And so that was unique. And so what was also interesting is that like after like I think it was like 6:45 that they could start like really starting to eat, and like the city like livened up big time. So during the day people were still out hot not eating, but then it got nice after. Obviously people were opening up more. That was cool.
we were in the middle of we were walking and it was hot and I had to sneak into a corner to drink some water. Like that's how much you have to like respect them, right? And the crazy thing is that you don't see anybody with a cup in hand. Nobody's walking with anything, not even water, not even a soda. It's nothing. So
Mm.
it was a crazy opportunity. One thing, I've noticed when I was out there, and Andy can contest to this, we saw no cops. Like Andy was looking for the popos. Like he was like, oh, there ain't no cops around here.
There wasn't.
I don't think we saw one cop, and it's one of the safest cities around too, right? So that's kind of crazy. And Andy and I took about, I would say, a good 10 Ubers. Not one of them played music. I didn't hear no. I didn't hear nothing. There was no music played, and I thought it was weird. Some of the people spoke to us, talked to us. Had some conversation, very minimal, and then some was just nothing. They were just all about the
Just you
business.
guys just hearing each other breathing. That's it.
We were talking amongst ourselves, but
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was crazy because uh, Cinco de Mayo. I know it's off subject, but I took an Uber out here, and the guy had a karaoke. He was like, we were talking. I was like, oh shoot! So I thought about Dubai. I'm like, man, I didn't even listen to 1 ounce of music out
Way different.
there. It was, but my point of view, it was really amazing. I felt like I was in Total Recall, like so futuristic. It's just the architecture was just amazing. Like
Next
that's some
level.
top stuff. Yeah, it was really next level. Um, the experience there was cool. I had the worst turbulence, I think,
Mm.
in Denver. It was like right off the rip.
Oh, I heard
And
that's terrible. My dad used to fly in there all the time for work, and he said it's terrible.
man, I hate flying. And I'm already like on edge because this is the longest flight that I ever did. So this was about 16 hours.
Mm.
So I'm already like on edge,
Wait,
stressing.
so you flew from San Antonio
Uh-huh.
to L.A.
Uh-huh.
to Dubai
Mm-hmm.
to where
That's it.
on the way back?
Oh, back to LA.
Back to L.A.
Then I stayed the night and then I flew back home the next day.
But would did Denver have to do anything?
No, because we flew past Denver.
Oh, past Denver. Okay, okay, okay.
Right.
Got you.
So I knew because I had the screen up, I was sleeping already. So I had to take some pills to help me knock out.
What kind of
And
pills? Viagra?
no, I ain't
Ecstasy pills?
get knocked me out, boy.
It's gonna knock somebody out.
Somebody else. Um, I just could tell because
Ecstasy?
the plane. No, sleeping pill, sleeping pill.
Jesse gonna be in there feeling himself and
I know.
everybody
Ambien.
else.
Ambien.
Oh, yeah, it was an ambient. So it just clicked in, I was out, right? And all I heard it was
Yeah,
shaking. And I'm like, oh shoot. And I'm like, what the heck? And so I looked
Thought
at the
that was
plane, it was
it.
like right over Denver. I'm like, no, this was bad. Once it was done, a poor lady was in the bathroom with her kid and she crawled to her seat because she was so scared. That's like, I'm not exaggerating, right? So that's how crazy it
yeah,
was.
it was bad.
And I'm like, dang. So, anyways, it was just that ride. So any kind of little bump kind of set me up for that trip. So I think I got like Christian in that um I was able to I
You
learned
good after that?
I saw my
You
life.
you ready to fly Spirit?
I'm ready to do it all. So any kind of bump, because normally like if I'm in the plane, if I feel a little jolt, I'm scared. No, but now I was set. But I fell asleep. Everything was good. And then Andy was sleeping, and I think we were about 2 hours from landing. And some suspicious guy was by the exit sign,
Oh, I was asleep this whole time.
and
Wait,
he
on
was
the way to Dubai or from Dubai?
on the way to Dubai.
Oh,
So
okay.
like this guy is about to open it. Like he's like his hand is like on the exit. And I'm like, where are these flight attendants? I'm looking. I was like, there's 13 of them on here. Where's one? So I'm like, oh my goodness, please don't open this up. Please don't open this up. And I look back at Andy, he's just I was like, Andy. Andy wakes up, I'm like, something's wrong with this guy here. And he was just like looking, he was like leaning on. I'm like, my guy's a please don't open it. Luckily, he didn't open it up. He went to a seat. I think he was just waiting for the bathroom. I think I was just a little paranoid.
It
Um,
was that Ambien, the ecstasy, the
I,
Ambien, the ecstasy, and the Viagra kicking in, man.
man, I had a nice little cocktail. Um, but I was glad we made it there safe. But like I said, overall it was a great experience. And then I thought we almost died on our way there. They drive horrible.
Oh, your
And
boy, the
we
guy,
got
the
picked
four
up.
by
We
four
got
dude.
picked up. Yeah, and we got picked up by the 4x4 guy, and I guess he was late. I don't know what kind of time schedule he was on, but he was getting an inch close to the cars. Like he was going in the passing lane, and he was like making them move, and he kept going. He would go, he would veer to the side. I,
Frogger.
t- I told Andy, I'm like, I called my wife. I'm like, I love you. I don't think I'm. I told Andy, and you know what Andy says? Andy was a G about it. Andy was like, Andy was holding on, and he was just sleeping. He's like, I can't even look.
Yo,
like, like Andy knew we were gonna die, but Andy was just like, I'm gonna sleep through this. He had his eyes closed. He's like, Nah, we're getting dizzy. Uh, but luckily, we were safe.
yeah, no, he was a wild drive. That was worse than the turbulence because it was like a 30-minute drive. The turbulence was like 20 seconds. This was 30 minutes of this dude just. It's
Well, while
crazy.
Yeah.
y'all was out there getting flued out like like a IG honey, I was back at home working.